Gentlemen, as it stands right now, there are 4 Terrans left in this tournament. Pretty crazy to think, out of the last 8 players, there are 4 Terrans, but one of them could fall right here, right now. Innovation is down 0-2. A bit of a surprising start of an upset here.
Definitely a bit of a surprise, Wolf. Yeah, SOS seems to, well, in the first game, he did make that sick comeback with a hidden base after his attempt at just killing with a gateway all-in. And second game, kind of like he just knew what Innovation was going to do and just powered an army out. Got like an incredible amount of qualifier, had a good position for the fight when he pulled the boys. And it was a complete crushing, essentially.
Yeah.
So one more game, and SOS is through to the round of 4.
That's true, man. And he actually doesn't look as confident as Innovation does on the left side of the screen, but Innovation has kind of been all smiles and all confidence and really big talk in the interview, but
yeah,
he's shown really predictable play.
He has.
And this is one of his weaknesses of all time, even in his peak of his career. His predictability has cost him certain games. It's cost him games in the GSTL when he was playing for Seoul. It's cost him big important matches in the Code S.
Cost him grand final matches, man.
Yeah.
I remember Sulky versus Innovation, where Sulky made the four-game comeback simply because he all-in Innovation's greed 4 times in a row.
Innovation just does not change it up sometimes in a series, and that makes him weak.
I think on this map, Deadwing, we could see the same kind of hard counter from SOS because it's a very straightforward map, very easy to protect bases. But here we go.
Here we go, indeed. Innovation's last life here on Deadwing. The bottom left in teal, the man himself.
SK Telecom T1 Innovation.
Really liking what you're saying about this map. We'll talk about that again as soon as we're done introing these players.
Does Innovation have a nickname? If he does, I can't remember it.
No, I mean, just people sometimes refer to him as Bogus, his old ID. The top left in red, his opponent.
Gene Air Green Wings SOS.
His nickname is $$O$.
Never forget.
Better dial SOS when you're playing against this guy. You might need some help. Well, yeah, Innovation, I don't know, I like to call him the robot. Well,
that's essentially what he is, right? Like,
yeah.
He's just a mechanical robot. He's a machine, a well-oiled machine on most days. What does that say, Wolf?
Oh, I wasn't really paying attention. I was trying to think about what you were saying about this map before, actually.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just this type of style from SOS, like the hard counter style that we were talking about, is quite strong here. And I already like that we're seeing Innovation changed up. He's going to go for a CC first. This map is huge. In these positions, you can still pull off the SCV pull attack.
It's actually better in these positions than cross map, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And being greedy like this will get him ahead. We are seeing the gateway opening from SOS. No crazy Nexus first or anything like that.
You know, the SCV pull on this portion of the map, like at these spawning locations, by the way, that's a great drawing.
That's fantastic.
He says it's his birthday, so you can't lose 3-0. But anyways, at these positions, like, it's very similar. It's comparable to an overgrowth SCV pull, right? As far as distance goes. The third base doesn't quite work the same way, but the distance-wise, it's similar. But I really just feel like it's time for a change. Maybe a more focus on mid-game aggression.
I really want to see Innovation drop more, Wolf. I feel like that's something we have not seen just about any. Actually, have we even seen him drop yet? He did, like...
No.
He did a
little bit
drop.
on the first, the first game.
That's not enough. You got to see much more drops than that. Have you seen Byung play TVP? Yeah. That's what he does.
I mean, we saw like he did that big drop that killed the Cyber Core.
Yeah.
And whatnot. He needs to do more stuff like that.
He could be doing that all game long. He could be trying to get the Protoss out of position all game long. And then if he's going to pull the boys like that, it's going to make things a lot easier.
Yeah, right. Like, he killed the Robo. He killed the Cyber Core with that follow-up drop. He knew exactly what to do. Nice deny attempt on that gas there. But, you know, these sorts of plays are how you set up for the Lazy Boy push, that big SCV attack. Because if you just go into a straight-up, unaltered, untested Protoss like we saw in Game 2, of course he's going to be ready. You know, he's already scouted you too. So
he got a faster third base. He contained you with the Blink Stalker. Like, he had complete map control and economic control for the longest time. He had such an advantage that he just had to make the right army and be in the right position.
One of the strengths of that SCV pull attack is knowing that you crippled your opponent early on with aggression, so it's tough for him to actually manage his units well and have enough units to hold. But if he has actually gotten a better trade on the economy, he got his third base up much faster, he put pressure on you and messed with your economy, then you're basically always going to be attacking into an unfavorable position with terms of how much army can be built, because your opponent's had more time, more mining, and he's been able to you know, take an advantage with that extra gas to get the tech out faster, to get a higher Colossus count like we saw. So, you know.
It was that, and like I feel like Innovation just keeps overextending to a point, or like just not taking favorable engagements either. Like when he had that sort of Viking count where you can one-shot a Colossus, so you can kind of pick one or two off before you fully commit, which is going to help out so much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now let's look at this. We have something very unique and interesting here. It's a delayed Stargate. The Stargate after Robo. And it almost makes me feel like we could see a delayed Oracle into Phoenix, because, I mean, what else is he going to be using the Stargate for, right? I mean, it's so late. A Phoenix comes in here pretty late at this point. Yeah, he saw that it was a CC first, so maybe he thinks everything's delayed. Maybe it's going to work out in his favor, but...
Yeah, well, Phoenix opening, we have seen that delayed Phoenix opening in the past, and it can do damage because they simply don't expect it. And with a scan like that, you see an instant robo, so you're like, well, I probably am pretty safe at this point. I don't have to build a turret. I don't have to keep all my Marines in the mineral patches. Though granted, he still has 6 Marines in his main base, so just in case it is a delayed Stargate, he'll be ready.
That is true. There's the Colossus tech coming up as well.
I do like the Phoenix, though, after an Oracle, because I do like getting that map control, but it looks like it's going to be that 2 Oracles sort of opening. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to pool them up a bit, and then when it comes in, it's shocking, and then it's not just 1 Oracle that you're not ready for, it's 2.
And you need a lot more than 6 Marines to deal with that.
Absolutely. Turret is almost mandatory versus this. So, yeah, we'll see. He has no turrets up in his mineral lines either.
He is not ready, not at all. So long as these Marines stay the same and no turrets are added, we could see some critical damage coming from SOS early on.
Yeah. Notice already, despite the fact that it was a CC first, with all the Chrono Boost usage we've seen from SOS, he's managed to take a 5 Harvester lead already. You know, he's keeping his unit count very low. Innovation not pressuring at all, because he's, you know, got to be concerned about possible, you know, drops, possible harassment, and in this case, Oracles coming in. So you can cut the units, rush out this tech. This is not enough Marines. The Observer sees this, and he's just going to wreck these Marines.
He's going to ruin these Marines. They're going to get one shot here. And from here, the mineral patch is wide open. There's no turrets here.
Nothing. And look at this. Let's see how many Harvesters he can get. Already the Marines alone are a great amount of damage, but 7, 8 SCVs.
He could almost fight these Marines as well. But
he almost can.
He almost can. Oh, you got to save those Oracles, though. 8 SCVs went down, and he had to pull all the SCVs from the main mineral patch. And third base almost done as well.
It's into a third base. It's into that Phoenix follow-up that we predicted, because that's going to help him shut down drops. He's got the economy to support this, and he can go into Phoenix Colossus a little bit. As soon as he's got enough energy, he can come in here and continue to do damage. He's going to spot this drop. He can follow it. He can be completely ready for it. This is just a terrible position now for Innovation. He's got a lot of catching up to do. And, you know, dropping is a start, but it's tough when you're already scouted.
Well, how are you going to drop 2 Oracles waiting for you, and not to mention a Phoenix to chase down your Medivacs? Looks like he will get a kind of rotate down to that third base here, but there's already 2 Colossi out.
Yep. And Phoenix is to help lift up Marauders. There's only 3 Marauders on the map, only 2 with this army. Guess what? There's 2 Phoenixes. 1-2 lift. The Colossi do the rest.
1-2 lift. I like that. And I don't think there's anything Innovation can do to this third base or harass in general. SOS has everything on lockdown.
200 energy on this Mothership core. Now 3 Phoenixes, just in case you lifted. I'm going to check.
Great scouting there from SOS. SOS is in form, ladies and gentlemen. He's just playing so good. I'm very impressed, and I'm so happy to see him playing this well again.
You know, I worry about Innovation here. He's adding a second starport. Now, I don't think this is going to be because he wants to do that timing attack again. I think it's because he knows, okay, Phoenixes are on the map. This is a problem. I think to have a lot of answer for the Colossi and the Phoenixes.
I think he has to pull the boys. I don't think there's any other way he can actually do this. I mean, he's still on 2 base. There's a third base up for SOS now.
This is a great drop here, though. He's somehow able to actually avoid the Phoenixes. And now there's not a whole lot of answer for this. 1 Oracle goes down. He's going to kill this Stargate.
I think that might have been both Oracles, actually. Oh, wait, there's a second one now.
But this is huge damage. You know, when you go for this build, you have to deny all the drops because what you sacrifice is a ground army. And if you don't have a ground army, the drops do a lot of damage.
Yeah, these Phoenix can try and pick off the medivac full. And, oh, pretty good here.
Pretty good. Even gets a Marine or two on his way out. But that was a lot of nice damage because he was clearly trying to go into a very heavy Phoenix Colossus style. And losing that Stargate, losing that Oracle even, is quite painful.
It does help out a lot. Oh, look at this. He's ready for the Polar Boys again. You know, he's ready. He knows it's going to be an all-in. He's adding. He's going to have 6 photon cannons here. And that's so smart.
Yep, he's just checking for the timing with this Observer right now, waiting to see the SCVs get pulled.
That's how predictable innovation is at this point.
We've seen...
When there's no third base like this, he has to all-in, right?
We've seen players like this do this in the past. This very same situation happened on Daybreak with like Youngwa versus Innovation. I think that was the map that was on, where he just made like 7 cannons at the front because he's like, you just keep doing this to me, man. I'm just going to make a ton of cannons. Yeah. Because why not?
He's going to have a sick Viking count, which is going to help out especially. But even that, there is a lot of Phoenix. There's a lot of cannons.
8 Phoenix is out. 8 Phoenixes to that many Vikings. All he has to do is make a buffer for those Colossi. A few force fields will pretty much do the trick.
Yeah, a lot of Zealots would really help out. But that is a lot of Vikings, and this is a very awkward position for SOS.
Yeah, those cannons certainly aren't helping out too much here. Nexus Cannon, on the other hand, is helpful. But look at this. He's going to come in here where the cannons are not. And he's going to force those Colossi to actually get near the Vikings.
He's trading pretty well here. That is 4 Colossi. And there's no buff for the bio, so if they want to go in, they're going to take so much damage. They're going to take full damage.
Every second that goes by is putting this game closer to SOS's favor because he has all that economy, because he has those 3 bases saturated, because he has those 6 gases. Notably, the Cybernex core was never remade until just now, so he can't make any more sentries, so there's only 2.
Nexus. Yeah. I love that hidden Nexus as well, though. Maybe a little too greedy considering the situation. There is no third base for Innovation. Innovation is essentially all in on 2 bases here. He has to make it work.
The only thing that's left to do is to pull the SCVs if he's not going to start a command center, right? I mean, he is super all in. You're exactly right.
Yeah, it seems like he just doesn't want to, though. It seems like he thinks he has enough to kind of just fight this. And until Phoenix kind of get their range upgrade, they're going to get kind of bullied from these Vikings.
Yeah, this is a very micro-specific battle here. And a lot of damage to those Colossi shields, too, and getting a few more Phoenixes. Really nice zoning here with those Vikings. I'm quite impressed. Also having that factory there does a little bit for him as well. Phoenix ends up shooting that first instead of the Vikings for just a second. Tanks a little bit here. And he is whittling down the health of this Nexus. He got the gateway. These cannons are actually not in position to really help out too much, and they're not ready yet regardless.
Yeah, and Phoenix are getting traded pretty well there.
He's got so much money. Look at how much money SOS has. I'd like to see a big group orphan of Stalkers or something, because...
Stalkers would be very useful at this point, or just Zealots, something to buffer these Colossi.
Yeah, these Phoenixes are almost all but gone.
That is too much money.
That's way too much money, man. Anything. Stalker Zealots, does he just not have gates? I think he's got at least like 4 gates, right? He's making another. He's making another starport, another Stargate. He's got no gateway units.
This is really, really strange.
He has 1,700 minerals.
And he even made a hidden base in the 4th. Like, he has to be making units here.
He must just not have gates. He has no gates. I was right. He's only got like 1 gateway.
This is actually the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
He's only got like 1 gateway. GG.
What? What was that?
He had no gateways. I was like, no, he's got like 4 gateways, but those are actually all Stargates on the minimap. He had like 1 gateway that whole game.
What a weird build from SOS. That just does not make sense. He could have made Blink Stalkers at any point and like being completely fine. He didn't have enough Stargates to really have enough Phoenix to fight the Vikings like he wanted to.
I don't know. I think he just got so flustered there at the end. He was like...
He was so far ahead.
When I started realizing he had no gateway units, I'm like, why is he warping in something? He has 700 minerals. Look at the production tab. Right as I was saying that, he starts +1 up for flying units and another Stargate. I'm like, well, you're in trouble, man.
When you have that much money...
might as well start making Void Rays, right? Like
anything would be better than nothing. And he had so many Colossi, he had the correct bio counter there. He just needed something to deal with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Super, super weird.
I mean, Phoenixes are great, but if you get zoned out over that dead space, you know, where the Vikings could just shoot the Phoenix and the Phoenix get close, they fight the Vikings and the bio at the same time, and the Colossi can't really get involved because they're zoned out too well. Those cannons he was making were too far to the left of the Nexus, so they couldn't really help out in the zone.
Yeah.
And Innovation just grabbed on tightly and did not let go.
Yeah, very sloppy from SOS. Very, very sloppy. But next map will be King Sejong Station. Not a bad map at all for SOS. We have seen pros have a lot of success in the past in this map. The Terran has been kind of catching up lately with a lot of bio mine dropping.
Well, if he's going to drew a drop, this is the map to do it. Still on his last life here is Innovation. To the top left, here he is in red.
SK Telecom T1 Innovation.
It would be great to see him adopt some more aggressive styles with dropping especially.
Yeah.
Really take a leaf out of Byung's book.
For sure.
Super powerful style. I think it's fantastic.
I think so too. Here's his opponent.
Jin Air Green Wings SOS.
But I get the feeling that we're just not going to see that Wolf.
I don't think so either, because Innovation is just the type of player who doesn't really like to change up his style. You know, you want to see something different from him, but he's just not going to show you most of the time, because he knows what he's best at. And sometimes even if you're so good at a style and your opponent knows you're going to do it, you could still win with it. And that's kind of, in my opinion, how Innovation, as he was bogus and then became Innovation during that time of his career, like when he first name changed and whatnot, how he kind of built his career. He basically was just like, I'm going to keep doing the same thing every time, and I'm so good at it, doesn't matter if you know it's coming, I'm still going to kill you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to beat you with it.
It worked pretty well in the past, but I think at this point it doesn't work nearly as well.
Certainly not in this series.
I think the last game was entirely up to SOS to lose, and
Sure.
he did it pretty well. It'll be that CC first for Innovation again.
Just a lack of gateways, and he just never added those. And he was like, I don't know, I think he just got a bit flustered or something. It was uncharacteristically bad from him. Adding the Nexus, I feel it was almost like, I've got a probe over here and I've got like 2,000 minerals, so let's make a Nexus because, you know, why not? I'm going to hold this right.
If he had like 5 more gateways and like, even if they weren't Blink Stalkers, just Stalkers to kind of stop the Vikings from chasing the Colossi. And he was trading like at least some of his Phoenix for the Colossi. Phoenix for the Vikings. But I mean, Andean Pulse Crystals were way too late. Second Stargate was way too late. It was never going to happen.
Well, he lost his second Stargate. He lost his first Stargate as his second Stargate finished, so he had to make a third Stargate, and then he ended up making like a fourth Stargate after that, and +1 was too late. Like, it was a bit strange. Would like to like re-review that game. That's like a game I'd like to look at a little bit more closely, but gonna block this gas again. That's so important actually.
Yeah, it's cheeky.
I mean, that's a lot of time lost there. And now he actually made another probe, so he's using more time.
Helps out a little bit. Every little bit helps.
For those of you who don't know, if you're like a newer player, if you stand on the edge of a gas, this was changed actually, I want to say like in Heart of the Swarm or right at the end of Wings of Liberty. If you stand on the edge of a gas, your opponent can't take it. So you can actually keep standing there. You can even rotate around it if he chases you and keep preventing that assimilator from being made. It's very frustrating.
Nice little bit of harassment.
Usually in PvP you see it the most, but even here, Innovation's used it twice now. Well, this game is shaping up to be similar to the last one. Robo here, first again. I don't think we're going to see necessarily a Stargate follow-up to this. Maybe a Double Forge I think might be better. Or even a Twilight Council would be okay.
I would like a Twilight Council. We do see it kind of change up a lot. These days, upgrades aren't as important early on against Terran, something we've seen.
Yeah, because you can catch up later with Chrono Boost anyways.
You just drop 2 Forges and yeah, you're well on your way. And yeah, it'd be nice to see like that couple of maybe 3 or 4 observers go out in the map, kind of completely shut down any sort of drops happening, go into that third base and get Colossus count up and kind of react to whatever Innovation is going to go. And most likely Innovation will go for that standard sort of bio-Viking timing, perhaps with pulling the boys, perhaps without, like we saw last game.
Yeah. 2 gates after the Robo. And an observer, no tech, no additional tech.
Not yet.
This is pretty unusual, in fact, for a PvT. Usually you see some sort of aggressive tech to get the Terran, you know.
Just like what we saw Hero used to do more than anyone else. He used to go for that fast Robo, get out a few observers, and from there he'd go for the Colossi count with a heavy Zealot sort of upgrades in the third base.
Yeah, usually with a forge or so, though. And
He would make the a couple of forges pretty early on here.
this is cool, though, because I like the Immortal, because that's going to give him a lot of extra flexibility. I think he might just take a fast third with this Immortal. Let's wait and see.
I think so. I think that's exactly what we're going to be seeing when he gets a chance.
He's going to deny the scout first.
Yeah, he's going to take the map with the Stalker, kind of see everything out here.
2 more gates could be a delayed Immortal bus with Stalkers.
Well, with a second Immortal, I think it just might be.
Like, you know, in 3 extra gates, Immortals plus Stalkers kill bunkers really fast, and they also kill debris really fast. I think that's what we're about to see.
Yeah, through the back door there. I like this.
Scan reveals the gates and the Robo.
Oh,
and will it see the Immortal?
I don't think it matters. I think as long as he checks the debris and the Prost just doesn't walk up the back door, I think Innovation should be fine.
He's making 2 bunkers at the front, but doesn't mean he can't add more bunkers as soon as he realizes what's happening.
Might be too late, actually. I mean,
3 bunkers.
We're going to see SOS go up the front here, kind of maybe poke and see there's some bunkers and be like, okay, I'm going to go through the back.
Yeah, I think he just wants to force.
There's nothing checking the back.
Yeah, I think he just wants to force the bunkers at the front. Okay, he's seeing somebody in the back right now. No, he's not actually.
Oh, wow. This is really bad. Though that is so much bio that Innovation actually might just have enough.
Well, let's see. He's got 4 Marauders and 18 Marines, so a pretty low Marauder count. Okay, now he starts to realize.
Yeah.
It might be too late, though.
I think it's too late.
This is a lot of DPS, not to mention all the sentries. He's got 5 sentries, tons of force fields available here. And he is just going to cut this army to pieces with the force fields.
He's going to go now there.
Here he goes. Force fields, 3 of them down already. Zealots at the front doing a ton of damage. Marines on the left side are in trouble now. They're going to get trapped here. And the Marines on the right are the next target, most likely. Just need to drop another force field there.
Oh, he's going to start focusing down the Marauders before they can get to the bunker, and he does. Very nicely done.
And those bunkers are falling way too fast. That's game over, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we're going to have SOS move on to the round of 4. Very tactical rush here. Ton of gates, early attack, unexpected, unscouted until too late. Bunkers aren't ready. GG.
Very nicely done from SOS to clean things up. And Innovation, you got to scout the back door, especially against Immortals.
Yep. And it's unfortunate he didn't get to see anything until that last second scan. He had no idea. He tried to scout several times. Every time a really good deny by SOS, stopping that SCV at the last second. And this is the type of push you really don't see too often. You normally see Immortal pushes like this a little bit faster on different maps, but on this map it was a little bit delayed.
You can even see proxy robos especially. Yeah. That's something we see a lot more often, but it still works a charm. But very nicely done from SOS to close things out. And great to see him go to the round of 4. Such a fun player to watch, and it's been so long since we've seen SOS have some success.
Part of the excitement for me after watching this play was just seeing SOS show pretty much a different game every game, and I think that's really important in a longer best-of series like a best-of-5.
Yeah, I love the hidden nexus around the map. Though granted, the second time he done it, he just had really poor macro behind it. So
yeah, that was a bit of a stranger game on Deadwing there, but otherwise he looked really solid. It's a shame that Innovation didn't get to try to change things up at all in Game 4 because he just got killed by an all-in. But SOS definitely playing the more varied style, changing it up a lot more, and I think that's part of the reason why he ends up winning this 3-1 and moving on to the round of 4.
I think so for sure. Yeah, he really had Innovation's number for a lot of these games.
And guess who's really happy about this result? It's Marine King.
Oh, yes he is. He gets his next TVP. His dream has come true.
I can just imagine him right now in MVP house, like sitting in his chair giggling, watching his PJ pants. He's like, oh yeah.
It's like, can he actually get to the finals without dropping a single map? Maybe. But he's going to have at least a TVT in the grand final, so he will be tested regardless.
Yeah, that is true. Something to keep in mind. So, well, I feel like Innovation's predictability here really hurt him. But we're going to hear now from SOS what he has to say about his victory.
아쉬움을 남겨준 이신영 선수에게 아주 짜릿한 복수에도 성공을 했는데요. 김유진 선수 만나보겠습니다.
So,
축하드립니다.
you've actually gotten revenge
소감이
on
어떠세요?
Innovation, who swept you 4-0 last time. How do you feel right now?
생각했던 상대를 이겨서 좋고 4강은 더 자신감 있게 할 수 있을 것 같아요.
It was actually one of the toughest opponents in my
고비를
opinion.
넘긴 만큼 더 앞으로의
But now that I've
모습이
beaten him,
기대가
I have
되는데
actually a lot
올
more
시즌 첫
confidence than before.
차량이에요. 확실히 파이널에 강하신 것 같아요. 자, 이번에 그 4강에 올라가게
This is your
됐는데
first round of four
그만큼
this
더 준비를
season.
하신 건가요?
준비는 항상 했는데
So how much have you prepared for HOT6 Cup? Of course, I've always been preparing.
네.
I always prepare for tournaments, especially
거두려고
this one because it's the last tournament in 2014.
네, 이 몰래 확장을 가져갔던
So I'm trying my best not to disappoint my fans and of course myself at the end of the year here, putting things to a close.
어떻게 데뷔하셨어요?
1세트 같은 경우에는 원래 몰래 확장
So
할
it seems like
생각이
you
없었어요.
planned out a different strategy, like you planned a strategy for
네.
each map very
제가
specifically.
수정탑을 일찍 보여줘가지고 상대가 벙커를 좀 일찍 지어서
네,
막혀가지고 즉흥적으로 했던 것 같아요.
He's
그렇군요. 자,
so
이제
he's saying he showed his
2013년
pylons
6월
early
9일
and fake move, just like I was saying earlier, to draw those units out. I guess talking about something there with putting his pylons out early and showing that
처음에
early on.
인터뷰할 때는 자신감 없는 척 했는데
네.
연습 때는 잘 됐거든요. 그래서
So are you disappointed that you couldn't get the 3-0 score as a revenge for being 4-0 last time?
네.
인공 제어소가 깨졌는데
네.
실수로 못 지었어요. 그래서 불사조가 바이킹에 압도당하면서
So in map 3, my Cybernetics core
그때 많이
got
속상하셨군요.
sniped. I didn't realize until too late.
들어오겠습니다.
네, 오늘 정말 다양한
So it
패턴을
was hard to
거두신 것
defend.
같은데
Still, I think he needed a few more
준비했던 것들
gates.
중에서 전체적으로
Because
몇
after it was
퍼센트
done, you
정도
didn't make
내가
that
오늘
many
플레이를
units.
보시나요?
아직 4강이 남아있기 때문에 다 꺼내들진 않았고 이진영 선수랑
So like
운영
how
대결도
if you had to put a
제
percent
전략을
on
얼마나
how
잘
much
먹히나
effort you put into
보고
those
싶었기
games, like
때문에
could
조금
you actually do that like
보여줬다고 생각하고 있고
on like a level of 0 to 100, like
CJ 테랑
how
만났는데
hard was it? How much effort did you have to put in to win?
네, 요새 이제
he said,
이런
like,
말들이 많아요.
you know,
테란들이 이제 맵과 패치를
He
통해서
basically says
상당히
he didn't really show his full
좋아졌다.
potential today.
그래서 우리도 그렇지만 선수들도 테란을 이기기가 좀
So
쉽지
my
않은
next
것
one's going to be one of the
같은데
CJ Terran
이런 식의
players,
좀
so
여론이
should be
많이 형성되어
showing
있어요.
a little
본인이
bit more
생각했을 땐
of my potential
프로토스와
against them.
테란의 전체적인 대결 구도가 뭐 어느 정도의 힘으로 이제 구성된
Implying that the
것으로
CJ
좀
Terrans are
보이나요?
stronger than Innovation.
지난 시즌까지는
So they're talking about like
할만했던 것
whether or
같은데
not
이번에
Terran or Protoss is actually stronger right now in the current meta.
3.5대
In my opinion, last season Protoss was really strong
것 같은데
against all races.
심리적
But the maps changed a little bit.
어느 정도는 따라잡을 수 있다고 생각해요.
뭐 그렇다면
And because of the
뭐
maps,
패치가 다시 한번 더
Terran
필요한
actually seems a little bit
정도까지는
stronger.
아니고 뭐 맵 정도만 다시 약간 또 봐주면 뭐 할만한 정도로 바뀔 것 같은 그런 의견인가요?
So
아니면 다시
basically,
손을 한번 건드려야
if there's changes to the maps,
해줬으면 좋겠는데
do you think it's actually going to be better for you in the
다
future?
사람마다 틀리니까
And
또
for Protoss in general as a
패치하면
race?
테란들이 갑자기 죽을 수도 있잖아요. 그 맵이 좀 할만하게 바뀌는 게 제일 좋을 것 같아요.
So
이신영 선수 이렇게
So,
잡으시고
you know, if there's patch
이런
changes in
말씀을
the future,
해주셨는데요. 자, 올 시즌
if
첫 4강에 오르면서
he's saying everyone's
GS에서
opinion is
아쉬움을
different,
날릴
but in
수
his
있는 아주
opinion,
좋은
the maps are the bigger
찬스입니다.
issue, and if the
앞으로의
maps
각오
are
좀
patched a little bit or changed a little bit, or updated, then things could be easier for Protoss.
4강에서 결승 꼭 가서
So what's your plan?
유종을 하겠습니다.
혹시 4강 상대로
I made it to the
바라는
semifinals.
선수
I'm going to be doing my
있으신가요?
best in the round of 4, and of course to try to go to the
조경세
finals.
조경세 선수는 제가 경기를 거의 못 봐서 잘 모르겠는데 정우영 선수는 프로토스를 잘
So,
이기더라고요. 근데
네.
Would you rather
VOD를 많이
face
봤는데
Sky High or Byung?
적이더라고요.
네.
It's hard to get a lot of information about Sky High's playstyle. However, Byung has played a ton of games,
네, 알겠습니다.
and he plays a lot of fun games,
바람대로
especially in
이루어질지
TVP. If you guys
잠시
think
후에
back to his
이어지도록
Outboxer
하고요.
games,
김유진 선수는
his
다시
mech
한번
versus
진출
Protoss that we've seen
축하드립니다.
from him
감사합니다.
in the past.
네.
So, congratulations to SOS, is able to advance again. It's moving on to the round of 4.
Great to see. It's going to be a very, very interesting round of 4 already with the players we have.
Yeah.
Now one more to go.
One more to go, guys. And it looks like we're going to take a look at our coin event, actually, before we talk about that. Guys, today is the last day of the coin event, so I'm no stockbroker, but I feel like the GSL coin value is going to plummet after this day. I'm no trader, but I'll tell you guys, definitely need to be here at the end of the match today if you want to spend your coins. So if you're in Seoul and you didn't know this, you better run down the studio right now and put your coins into the raffle because all the prizes will be awarded today. Of course, if you want to come down to the finals, be sure to do so. It starts at 3 p.m. I would say come by 2 if you want to make sure that you get a good seat because I think there's going to be a lot of people coming down. You can see the information about where it's going to take place. It's going to be Dongdaemun History and Culture Park Station, exits 1 and 2. There'll be signs telling you how to get there. It should be pretty obvious. It's a pretty giant venue. And so just come down. There's also a bit of raffles and giveaways. There's a special seated area for the global fans, so it's not going to be hard. Don't have to pay any money. Don't have to reserve any tickets.
Yep.
Everything should be fine.
Everything's
just relax.
great. It'll be a great time. A big day as well. Because, I mean, round of 4 as well as the grand finals. It's going to be a huge day.
Great venue. Come down, get some good seats, bring some snacks, chill out with your friends, talk about StarCraft. You know, it's going to be on the weekend. It's going to be fun.
It's just going to be a great time, guys.
Certainly is. Now, we have a TVT coming up next to decide our final player in the round of 4.
A team kill TVT.
A team kill TVT.
Sky High versus Byung. Sky High looked amazing in his TVT last week, so very, very excited for this.
Yeah, I am as well. Guys, before we go into it, we are going to take a quick commercial break. We'll see you right after.